It was supposed to be a quick run. Emma Clarke, 27, laced up her sneakers like she did every morning. It was her way of clearing her head before her job at the Children's Hospital. A nurse by profession and a caregiver by heart, Emma had seen the best and worst of people, and running helped her hold on to the good. That morning, the sun was barely up, the streets quiet, and she waved to her elderly neighbor like always. She never made it back home. When Emma didn't show up for her 7 de la mañana shift, alarms went off. She was never late. Never irresponsible. Her best friend and colleague, Mercy, tried calling. Then texting. Then panicking. Somewhere on a back road just outside the city, beneath a blanket of earth and darkness, Emma fought to stay alive. The attack came out of nowhere. A car slowing down. A man asking for directions. Then pain, panic, and darkness. When Emma came to, she was in the trunk of a car, wrists tied, head spinning. She didn't know how long she was unconscious. She didn't know who he was. But she remembered one thing, her watch. It was more than a fitness tracker. It had GPS. It had cellular backup. And right now, it had her last hope. Buried alive in what felt like a shallow grave, Emma couldn't scream. Her mouth was taped. Her hands barely moved. But her wrist, it was still there. She pressed it. Tapped blindly. 1, 2, 3, she didn't know if it worked. But 20 miles away, a notification ping. Mercy was in the break room when her phone buzzed. Emergency SOS triggered from Emma Clarke's Apple Watch, it read. Her stomach dropped. She ran. Within minutes, she was on the phone with 911. Within an hour, police had pulled the location data. But it was rough. Somewhere in a 2-mile radius on a wooded road. No camera coverage. No time. Officer Daniel Reyes, a veteran with 15 years on the force, took the call. He had 2 daughters of his own and didn't hesitate. With a search team and K9 units, they combed the area. Nothing. Until a dog barked. And didn't stop. They found disturbed earth. Fres. Luose. A shovel nearby. And then they heard it. Fan tapping. 1, 2, 3. Emma was barely conscious. She had no idea if help was coming. But in that coffin of dirt and fear, she kept faith. She remembered the children she cared for, how they held on through the worst of it. How she always told them, one more breath, one more minute. That's all you need to win. So she waited. And when the first streak of light cracked through the dirt, she cried. Not from pain. But from hope. They lifted her out gently. She was bruised, dehydrated, terrified. But alive. The man who took her was caught 2 days later trying to leave the state. A former delivery driver with a long history of mental illness and violence. No connection to Emma, just wrong place, wrong time. But Emma refused to let that be the end of the story. Months later, after healing, after therapy, she returned to the hospital. Not just to work, but to speak. To teach. To tell others, especially young girls, how to use the tools they already wear on their wrists. Her story went viral. Schools invited her. Tech companies featured her. Parents hugged her. My smartwatch saved me, she told a packed auditorium once, but what really saved me was someone caring enough to check. Mercy never stopped wearing the bracelet Emma gave her after recovery. It was simple. Inscribed with 3 words. 1 more minute. Today, Emma runs again. Not out of routine. But out of gratitude. She waves at her neighbor. She ties her shoes. And she looks up at the sky with a silent promise to never stop fighting for the next person who can't speak. Because sometimes, survival comes down to a tap. And the people who choose to listen. And in the end, even buried under fear and silence, humanity still answers the call.